Hi everyone, it's Sage. Welcome to my garden. Today's video is intuitive gardening. So I actually planted everything yesterday. I recorded it all, but I plugged my mic into the wrong port in my camera, so it didn't pick up anything that I was saying, which is okay. It happened for a reason. I think this is going to be a much chiller video with me just explaining what I did versus you watching me aggressively like dig things. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so this is the first bed that I did yesterday. So in this bed we have some cabbage. This garlic was already growing from last year. So last year we bought this house in this spring, and I didn't get to overwinter any garlic, and I just threw some in and, you know, tried, what the hell, let's see what happens. And it just kind of put out little shoots, and I didn't remove them all, and then this year they've come back and now we're gonna have lots of garlic, so that's awesome. I also did some beets in this bed as well, just in kind of the bare spaces, as well as marigolds and calendula around all of the beds except the potatoes, which I'll show you after. And then I had an idea in between each bed. I wanted to build a trellis, and so on this bed I have watermelon seeds on this side and on this side actually, and so when they grow we'll just have a trellis going up and over on each side just to make it just really cool, and it'll use this vertical space that I have so much of, and I think it'll make in here more of its own space. Okay, so the second bed here I dedicated mostly to my purple sweet potatoes. So you can see this plant here in the middle, and then I did some lettuce all around the sides here, as well as some shallots. I had a lot left over, so I kind of just threw them in every bed. And then calendula and marigolds around this bed as well. So how this was intuitive is that there wasn't really a plan. We went to our local garden center here and just picked up a bunch of random things very intuitively, and then I didn't like sit out and write out a plan like I did the year before. It didn't bring any value because I didn't even follow it. So this year I didn't waste my time to do that. Just being in the space and then seeing what will work here and being intuitively led was a lot better for me. And a lot of these are new. I haven't grown any of these yet, so it's all a new learning experience, but it's awesome. Okay, for this bed I planted broccoli. It's kind of the biggest crop here. We got 6. And so with a lot of these vegetables, they didn't have spacing on the little tags that they come with, so I had to Google everything. I had my measuring tape out yesterday. Yesterday was a really good day, but it was definitely a lot to garden and film just because it was such a big, it was a lot of effort. It was a big project, and I also was looking to get it done before the new moon, which I did, so we're good to go. But I'm happy to be here today in no rush, just vibing out, showing you what I planted. So we have broccoli here, and then I did shallots all around this as well. We have some lettuce, and then 3 cucumbers here, which are going to climb up this trellis and provide us with beautiful cucumbers. And I think, oh yes, I also threw some of my beets from last year. One of my plants went to flower and seed right away, which is not typical for beets. They're a biannual plant, like carrots. If you leave them in the ground over winter, the next year they will shoot up and push out a bunch of seeds. One of mine just went straight to seed last year, and so I got a bunch of seeds and I put some in here to kind of fill in some of the space. Okay, bed 4 is very similar to bed 3. Instead of broccoli, we have cauliflower here, 6 as well. That was a big bee. 4 cucumbers on this one, and then this area here is, I have 4 rows of carrots. And then shallots. I was trying to remember if it was onion or shallots, but shallots all along this bed perimeter as well. Okay, so this bed has the last 2 cabbages from bed 1. It was a pack of 6, but I didn't think that they would all fit in the one, so I put 2 here, as well as 4, whoa, 4 of my tomatoes. I'm probably gonna build a bigger structure like this down the line to support these as they get taller. This one also has onions instead of shallots in it all around the bed. And then I forgot to tell you on the other bed, but this side here has peas, so I can do the trellis, and then the other side of the bed 4 also has peas, so I can have a big trellis over there. I grew peas last year and I didn't really know what to do with them. They grew and they're beautiful flowers, but then I didn't make the time to harvest them and preserve them and stuff. So this year I'm going to shell them and then probably just chuck them in the freezer. And the nice thing about peas is that you can just plant them continuously for continual harvest. So we'll see how many peas we can get this year. Okay, and the last and final bed here is my potato bed. So I didn't plant marigolds and calendula around this bed, around the perimeter, but I did on all of the other ones. The reason for that is marigold is a really great companion plant, so it really helps keep away any unwanted insects. And then calendula, I grew some of it last year. Calendula is really great. It's a great herb and I use it a lot in teas, and I make some skincare out of it as well. And so I wanted to grow enough for myself for next year. Ooh, it looks like it's gonna rain. Nice, I've been asking for rain. It looks like, sorry, hold on. I just saw the sky. Oh yes, I wanted to plant enough so I would be able to have enough calendula petals for everything I need to do for the rest of the year, and I won't have to purchase any more. I can just make do with what I have. Anyway, the reason why I didn't put it in this potato bed is because last year my potato bed kind of choked out all of the marigolds, and so I wasn't going to kind of use the space for that. But I do have watermelon on this end and watermelon on this end too, actually. And then in this bed there is both purple and golden potatoes. I bought the purple potatoes, and then the golden ones are from last year. I had a bunch in the basement that grew like extremely long roots, and so I planted some in there, and I'm gonna have to see what I can do with the rest. Let me show you my perennial garden as well. And I did plant some annuals in this as well. Let me take you on a tour over there. This is my perennial bed. On this side is a bunch of flowers that I just planted, plus yarrow from last year and grapevines from last year. So I'll show that now. Then the rest of this is a combination of perennials and annuals. So here I have another watermelon plant, and then some strawberries that I got last year from my mom, raspberry bush that we planted last year, eggplants, cucamelon, I'm just gonna keep backing up and telling you, a sugar rush melon, Saskatoon berries, more cucamelon, blueberry bush. What is this one again? Oh, 2 more watermelon plants here, and then in the back here I have corn, I have some squash. I was gonna do beans, corn and squash, but I didn't have any beans to do like the traditional 3 sister growing method, but I didn't have any beans. So I thought maybe peas could be a substitute, but I'm not sure if that's true. But next year we'll do that. And then the one last bed here. Okay, this bed here has some garlic. So I planted garlic Last year I didn't get to it in the fall, so this February I brought some containers inside, thawed the dirt, planted garlic in there, watered it, and then threw it outside, and it seems to have worked. So that might be a hack for garlic growth. I also have 4 more tomato plants here, and then I planted a mashed potato squash, 2 of them here, and those are like more of a bushel squash versus like a climbing one. This bed was our compost pile from last year, so that's kind of why you see some rotting stuff in it, but it'll just really help to make this soil really nutrient dense and give some life back to it. Okay, thank you for being here, you guys. What a great adventure this was, to plant everything and not have a plan. And some might say we bought too many plants, but I think it all worked out perfectly. It gave me a chance to really go with the flow and see how I could be creative with spacing, and I really enjoyed the process. It was great, and I think it's really perfect that my video got not ruined from yesterday, but like the audio didn't work, so you couldn't hear anything I was saying. And I think it's really nice to have this kind of calm, more centered walkthrough of the space, and I get to show you what I have sown and what I've created, and hopefully you can see the vision, because it's really going to be amazing. And I'm very blessed, and I have so much abundance, and I've also just planted so much abundance, so I'm really excited for that. Yeah, it was really good practice to do this all intuitively, not really have a plan, but just kind of feel it out. And I encourage you to maybe think about that and explore that a little bit, that maybe you already have the answers in here, but we just need to ask and maybe create some calmness and some stillness so we can hear. All right, it's been a lovely day today and yesterday. I really am thankful for this rain that's coming in. Just staring at me. Thank you for being here and spending your time with me and Portia. I will see you in the next video, and you will get to see where this all leads. Okay, bye.